Okay, so I just want to start this off and say that as a New Yorker, born and raised in New York and everything, I've noticed a lot of things growing up that, we as New Yorkers all know, but we don't talk about it. So, well, we don't talk about it with, non-New Yorkers. So, I just wanted to go over a few things. Let me turn down the air real quick. I want to go over a few things because a lot of people who are not from New York, wouldn't know this. Now, from personal experience, I can honestly say that yes, New Yorkers, for the most part, are as mean as TV portrays us. But we don't do it maliciously. Like, we don't do it because, we're just hateful people. It's just we have a more negative outlook on life, and I'm not sure why. But because I noticed when I watch The Real and stuff like that, Adrienne Bailon, she's a New Yorker, and when they discuss certain things and they talk about different experiences and stuff like that, a lot of her answers reflect true New York answers, because I find myself agreeing with her 100% on certain things. Now, yes, we are more aggressive. We are not those people to just walk around speaking and saying hello to people that we don't know just because, which is something that I experienced in Georgia. Quick note, if you do go to Georgia, right, everyone there is very friendly. If you go to, I've never been to Atlanta. I've always been to where my family is from, which is Savannah. If you go there, right, and you're walking past someone and they speak to you, because it's very, it's the old days. People sit out on their front porch and stuff like that. Now, if someone speaks to you and you do not want to be caught in a 2-hour conversation about anything that could possibly have happened in Savannah in the last 30 years, I definitely suggest that your hello in response, out of courtesy, be a moving hello. Don't stop. Don't pause. Don't act like you're interested in anything like that. Make it a moving. Oh, hey, how you doing? And keep going, because you will be caught for real in the ultimate conversation, and you will be stuck, because of course you're either stuck or you're just rude. Other than that, like I said, we're not those hello, how you doing people unless we know you. We're not those, hey, we're just, we're not those smiling people. If you're walking around New York and you're smiling, just outright smiling, best believe most of everyone that you pass is going to look at you and be like, oh my God, they're freaking crazy. So, just so you know. Now, the main reason, as funny as it is, because, this is a long explanation. I'm trying not to make this video mad long, but it is. The main reason why New Yorkers don't like tourists is because of the fact that we have lived here our entire lives, and we, for the most part, sleep on how amazing New York really is. Ignore the fact that my phone is moving all over the place because I am driving, so I got signal and stuff. We know about the Statue of Liberty, we know about Ellis Island, we know about all these tourist attractions. Times Square is not a big deal to us. Grand Central is not a big deal to us. And when you've seen these things your entire life, or funny enough, as New Yorkers, most of us have not seen these places. there's still a huge percentage of New Yorkers that have never been to the Statue of Liberty, that have never been to Ellis Island, that have never been to any of these places, because of the fact that it's not that big of a deal to us because we live here. It's always oh, well, I can go anytime, or, what's so great about that place? Now, the only reason why I've been to these places is because of the fact that they were class trips. Would I have taken these trips on my own? I'd like to think that I would. But definitely not me on my own when I was younger. As an adult, I would definitely like to visit these places. And again, because of the fact that now that I understand the history and what these places represent and stuff like that, as a history person, and I absolutely love history, I would like to revisit these places and really, really embrace the places that I was going to, because when I was younger, I was just like, oh, we're going to Statue of Liberty, that's cool. Ellis Island, I completely slept on. It was like the most boring school trip ever. But I take that over the Hall of Science, because I swear I went to the Hall of Science like every single year for like 8 years. And I want to go back to the Hall of Science now, funny enough, but that's probably because I've had like I've had a long break from the Hall of Science, so I want to go back now. But other than that, yeah, we've seen all these places. I'm just rambling. I'm so sorry this video is so long. We've seen all these places, or we haven't, but it's not a big deal to us. We don't go crazy over these places. Just like usually, real normal New Yorkers don't really go crazy over seeing, certain people or, most celebrities, because we, running into a celebrity in New York, funny enough, is actually very common. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I met, thanks to certain programs and stuff like that, I was able to meet like Russell Simmons when I was like 13. I met, his brother. I met a lot of people, when I was younger and everything. So it's not like that big of a deal. But y'all come to New York to go visit all of these tourist attractions. Y'all embrace, how huge the buildings are and stuff like that. We see big buildings every day, all day. So it's not, my biggest suggestion, honestly, if you come to New York, we understand that, y'all are so taken aback by how amazing the city is, which it absolutely is. But our main complaint is you stopping in the middle of the sidewalk while we're walking right behind you. Because if you've ever been to Times Square, if you've ever seen the movie about how Times Square is, it's just heel to heel traffic. Everybody's on each other. It's extremely busy. So if you're going to be walking, you cannot stop mid-step to look at a building. You cannot do that. That is just wrong. You cannot do that to people. And honestly, that's why it's like, you have to understand that as New Yorkers, most New Yorkers don't have a driver's license because there's no need to. We have one of the biggest transit systems. There's no reason to have a driver's license in New York, because driving in New York is almost impossible. But when you have to consider us walking is basically it's basically our version of driving. So you cannot sit there. If someone is driving in front of you, I'm sure you drive wherever you're from. So if you're driving and someone slams on the brakes in front of you, that is the equivalent of you stopping in the middle of the sidewalk when you're walking. How can you do that? It's like you're sitting there, you're holding up traffic, first of all. Second of all, you're leaving everybody to the point where it's like we're just at your mercy and trying to get around you now, and you're just la 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 la. If you're going to stop and admire a building, or you stop and need to look at a map, hey, curb yourself. So yeah, you cannot sit there and cut people off and everything. It's like that's basically our road rage. That's basically what drives us crazy. Other than that, it's like we don't mind y'all coming and seeing the city and, you know, checking it out and everything. It's a beautiful city. It is. Drives us crazy, but, you know, funny enough, most New Yorkers, when they leave, they're miserable because you sleep on how convenient everything is. Like, now I no longer live in the city, so it's like living right outside of the city. It's really annoying because everything closes at like 10. Only thing that stays open after that is like Target and Stop and Shop. Everything else closes at 10 o'clock. You can't run to the supermarket. Well, you can't run to the corner store and everything. You know, you can't get a decent sandwich. You know, you can't do a lot of things outside of New York City. And most people, like my sister, when she moved out of New York, which is absolutely hilarious to me, I used to sit there and I'm like, yo, like, you know, yeah, apartment is really big and it's, you know, it's beautiful and, you know, everything is really nice. She's like, but I miss New York. I'm like, why? Like, why would you miss New York? I'm like, you know, everybody wants to get out of New York. It's too stressful. It's too annoying. You know, it's too busy. And she's like, all I want is a ham and cheese sandwich. She said, that's all I want. If I could find me a decent bodega, I would be so happy. And I'm sitting there and all I could do was laugh because I'm living that life right now. Like, I had one decent store and it burned down, and now I'm sitting here and I'm miserable because I cannot find a decent store. We have one bodega in our entire little town and everything. One singular bodega, and they're expensive as I don't know what. It's ridiculous. So yeah, if you're planning on visiting New York, just try to stay out the way, because we understand that, you know, y'all want to come and see everything and y'all want to experience it. I mean, we kind of want to do that when we visit other places. Normally we don't. We just kind of, you know, stay in a hotel or go eat when we leave to go other places. But, you know, you want to see the city, you want to do all of that. Don't get in the way of the locals, because we have to live here. You're on vacation. You're enjoying your vacation. We are living our everyday lives, going to work and everything. We don't want to sit there and have to trip over you to live our normal life because you decide to stop. Oh my God, look at that building. Be considerate, please. I mean, yeah, we'll curse you out in a second. We'll tell you off. You might get your ass kicked. You never know. But at least, you know, you can try to avoid these things. I'm just trying to help. I will talk to you guys later. I have to see what's going on because the police are over here checking out a suspect or something. I don't know. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. I don't know what happened. So yeah, I need to watch my back. Love you guys. Bye.